So today in this video, we're going to be breaking down a 50 kill game for you guys, breaking down step by step on how to improve those kill games to potentially drop 30s, 40s, and maybe even 50s. I dropped many 40s, many 30s, and I dropped a couple of 50s, but I feel like I want to analyze this one just to show on how I consistently drop those numbers, giving you guys the best tips and advice on how to get better. Landing's a little bit 50-50 with a lot of the places, so I do tend to pull my shoot just to see where everybody goes. I do like to go pods just because it's really easily finessable. But I landed top first, just got to see a couple of free kills and let the guy self. Sometimes they refuse to self, so it's good to, bait them into thinking that you're running away or you're not looking at them, just so they do get that stem off and you can get that extra kill. Off rip, I tend to look for a PP or a Tanto, just something that can kill quick and has a lot of movement. The PP off rip is probably the best gun you could ever get, especially for squads. You just have so much ammo and it kills so quick. It's just a really well-rounded gun as a whole. With a lot of the other floor loot, you do tend to get guns that don't have too many bullets in them, which is kind of shitty when you're trying to kill multiple people at once. So when it comes to breaking down teams, I still don't see people do this enough, even though it's been a thing since day one of Resurgence. When you get a kill, always make sure you do get that full kill so you can get the information on where the others are. It really helps with farming kills, making sure you don't accidentally eliminate a full squad just so you can farm them in the later game. So like with these guys, I was making sure I was breaking them down, splitting them up. I was focusing the solo that was over here and leaving the guy top so he can regen his teammates, and obviously I can get those extra kills later in the game. Also making sure you buy your weapons when you can. It's not necessarily important, because you can get some really good floor loot, and sometimes I tend to just even avoid wasting that time on a buy station, just because I know with some of the floor loot I can do the exact same. Like there's a floor loot GPR that is probably the best floor loot you can pick up for an AR, as well as the PP. So if I do get any of those guns, I tend to just deal with it and just fry out teams as is until I can probably get my load out. Being able to farm a single team off rip is actually really effective. Their respawn timer is very short, so this is kind of only effective up until it turns second zone. But you can actually farm one singular team really efficiently, as displayed here. But also obviously picking up those extra kills wherever you can find them. You're just utilizing the UAV as much as possible. See, always getting them full kills is really it's really effective, sorry. Into obviously breaking down the second, third, and fourth. Also just being wary of the new recent, maybe a bug, introduced into the game. You can't full kill people instantly, so try and not waste too much time. Those few milliseconds where you can't pull them. Don't wait for them, for that timer to give up or continue spraying them. Make sure you're good. Make sure there's nobody else pushing you. If you can get that full kill, obviously do it as fast as possible. But if you're under more pressure, that isn't your main priority, as it can kill you. They're just keeping control. Maybe there I should have brought a UAV, as it would have given me more info. But I try not to waste time as much as possible. Right there, definitely going out my way to drop down and just grab a UAV quickly would have made this a lot more efficient. So just keep that in mind if you are willing, or if you are trying to get them high kill games. make sure you're always trying to get that cash for a UAV. This is also what I like about the PP. It has a lot of range for an SMG, and it can be versatile at a lot of different ranges. Like close range, obviously it's superior, but as you could see right there, that guy was about 50 meters out and I could still kill him very, very fast. So just keeping control of an area, making sure you're the one third partying and not getting third partied yourself. Like right here, I ended up getting third partied because I didn't make sure the hut was clear, which a lot of people tend to sit there for some reason. But now I have a power position and I can just be that annoying third party and pick off those kills one by one. Just picking them easy kills up still. I'm every time I shoot this fucking moron. Just make sure nobody takes my position. You can see there, somebody tried flanking me. There is a lot of ways up to this building, so you have to be wary. I think there's a ladder either side, and there's also a walkway up where I walked up, and a zipline. You're just making sure you're probably playing it around the AC or somewhere that's in cover, so you can probably finesse somebody if they do end up sneaking up behind you. As like right here, just playing the heady on the ramp, so I'm less of a target to hit. Get the first two initial bloods, trying to find the third. And obviously he comes to try and be the hero. Which almost worked, because none of my guns had any bullets in them. Oh my god. Also, make sure you always have plates. There's a issue in the game where it doesn't actually automatically pick up plates, so just keep that in mind so you ain't breaking down teams and then run out of plates accidentally. I found myself doing that way too many times. Picking up a satchel is probably the best thing to do, so if you do find one, make sure you always keep that in mind. Allows you to store these extra 3 plates, and you tend to run out of plates like a lot less. Also, picking and choosing the fights. If I was to push out there, it would honestly be a really hard breakdown. But just how they're playing and what positioning I can play, there's not really much I could have done there. Without obviously also getting third partied from these. So I had to make sure I had to clear this top and probably fight something else until they have to rotate out of there. I kill the third party, get the full, and get the information on where his rest of his teammates are. Obviously you can see there's a few squads fighting here, and I can play the power position and keep third partying as I have been doing this whole game. Also making sure you ain't sitting in one place for too long. I was just getting information on what was around me. And that's what's really good about UAVs, is you don't need to do what I've just done there and waste all of that time obviously trying to get that information. You could just fly at stuff and not have to worry about anything else. I did run out of plates and respawn is disabled, so I didn't want to risk my life going for the buy station to buy extra plates. I knew initially I killed a couple of guys on top, so I just had to go loot them real quick just to make sure. Obviously that doesn't cost my potentially world record game. Playing them power positions is so important. Just keeping this team off of me. I was going to play for him, but in the position that I was and how they were playing, it was going to be a really hard breakdown. So I was going to leave him for later, and that was the team that I have been breaking down this whole game. They do eventually come back for vengeance, as I'm sure they were a bit annoyed. Right here, I should have taken control of the first building on the left. They were fighting here, and obviously respawn's disabled, so I didn't want to miss out on any of these kills. Just making sure my back's clear, make sure they haven't pushed out. Picking up them extra freebies. But this is where I mess up. I spend too long in one position. Where I could have literally just taken power position in center and just played the roof. Or around the building. Unfortunately, I do die on 50 kills. And that would have been 100% a 60 kill game if I didn't fumble so bad. But unfortunately, it is what it is. I pissed off that team a little bit too much and they came back for vengeance. But yeah, in the future, we're going to be breaking down more of these videos. When rank comes out, we're obviously going to continue with what we did. Maybe another solo queue to iridescent or whatever the max rank will be.